Hey everyone, this is Reki. Welcome back to another Project Zomboid on point in West Point. We are on episode 20 and I think we're on day 6 now. Pretty soon I'm going to be able to, or I'm going to have to stop counting because it's going to be too difficult to keep track of it in my head, or I'm going to have to start writing it down or something. I did a little interlude last night where I went ahead and I cleaned up some of the things that were going on, and I changed out her equipment. I did some testing of the various different types of equipment in Britta's armor mod, and she wound up wearing some really great stuff. And the plan today was to go out and kill those zombies that were on the road. But look at this weather we're suddenly having. I don't know if I remembered that the weather was going to be bad. I don't think I did. So here is what she's currently wearing. For those of you who didn't watch the interlude while I was going through and checking the weight of the various different things, we are currently now wearing military combat webbing, and this is what we are going to use for our tool chest. We have this SPOSN SSO Bober M Assault Backpack, which holds 49 pounds, and that's what we're going to carry our gear in. And then we also have this Fairwind Tactical Belt that we are currently wearing on the back. I don't think I can get in any closer, unfortunately, so I can't really show you. It's turn around. There we go. Okay, see that black and gray square right under her backpack? That's the tactical belt that she's currently wearing. And then the backpack is this nice little kind of muddy brown and black backpack. And then the combat webbing is the white and black that's right here. And then underneath it all, she's got a dark green and black military vest. What's the name of them? My brain is failing me. I'm so sorry, guys. Military bulletproof vest. So she's wearing a bulletproof vest, and then she's got the combat webbing over it in the front, and then the backpack in the back, and then underneath it all in the back is this tactical belt. And the tactical belt has a 5-pound weight limit, and it's just perfect for a mobile first aid kit. And then the combat webbing, or whatever you use on the front, is great for a mobile first aid kit because it a mobile toolkit because it holds 10 pounds, which is the same amount that a toolbox holds. The difference being that a toolbox has to be carried in your hand, and therefore you have one hand taken up, and like me, I like to use a two-handed weapon, whereas with the webbing, it's now all on her body. And you'll see she's wearing 10 pounds worth of gear in this webbing, but she hasn't even reached her 18-pound weight limit. Let me put this book in her backpack that she's been reading, and I'll show you what I mean. If I go over here and I drop this, I have to unfavorite it first, but I drop this combat webbing. Her weight without the webbing is 9.78 pounds, but the webbing is holding 10 pounds of gear, so it should be 19.78 when she picks it up, but it won't be. She's going to wear it in her vest slot, and instead she only picked up a couple of pounds instead of 10 pounds worth of weight. So that's another reason why I really love the combat webbing. I'm going to go ahead and favorite all the stuff that I've got in it. So I don't think I can favorite the nails, maybe. That's weird. Why won't it let me favorite this stuff? Let me unpack it all. I hate to do that, but let's unpack all of it. And then we will favorite it. And this way, when we take it out, we won't accidentally drop it. And then all you have to do is, because you're carrying it around with you, you've got this stuff on the webbing, which is really nice. Come on, go back in here. Which means you automatically have whatever you need when you're out. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to drag it out of your toolbox. You don't have to put the toolbox in your hand in order to automatically use whatever you need. It's just there. You just have to remember to dump the items back in it. Just to make my life easier, I'm going to drop this and put it back on, because I like to have it at the bottom. It seems like the only way to rearrange this bar is it's organized in order that you put it on. And I happen to like this order. I like my first aid kit being the first thing that I grab, my tools being the second, and my backpack being the third. So now we're pretty much set up for anything that we want to do, but it is raining, and that kind of kills the original plan of going out and fighting zombies. I don't like to fight zombies in the rain. And then I have to deal with her being in a bad mood and all that stuff. So I'm going to feed her. Do we have anything? Yep, we have a good sandwich here. Let's eat this. Let's see. What do we have? The weather is interfering with the signal for the radio coming in. And it looks like we've got the news on at the moment. I think the news is off from the TV. So like the news on the radio, I think either comes hourly or comes random, or perhaps it comes at a particular time, but it's not always at noon like it would be for the TV. And I don't think, this doesn't have the emergency broadcast channel, and I was pretty sure we had found it. Oh, I know why. We have the ham radio here, and it's the only one tuned to the emergency broadcast channel. I was trying to be smart by having one always on entertainment and the other one always on the emergency broadcast channel, and I outsmarted myself because I forgot. But that's nice, because we actually get an idea for the rain, and unfortunately, as you can see, we're not getting the best signal. It's kind of crummy, and that's why we're getting a lot of these bzzz and fizzes. But hopefully we don't have a tropical storm coming in. Mild wind, so that's not a bad thing. Alright, so nothing imperative there. So we can't build today, and we don't want to go out zombie hunting, not formally anyways. There's very little really here to clean up, so I'm not really fussed about tidying up the place, although we can pick up these nails. So that leaves me wondering what to do for the day, and looting is always a reasonably good option, although I think we're short a vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we have a really good looting vehicle. This is what I get for playing my other game for 2 days. So, okay, so yeah, so we're still stuck in the taxi. So I think since it's raining and we don't really want to be out of the car too much, and off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that we need imminently. We have food, we have refrigerators, we have an oven, we have a generator. We can't work on the water reclamation system without working on carpentry, which is building. So my thought is, let's take a turn around the neighborhood and see if we can spot vehicles, because if we're lucky, there's a Humvee around here somewhere, and the Humvee will give us a lot more storage space, and it's upgradable. And then meanwhile, we can also keep an eye out for other trucks, water trucks, other the big trucks, and I can do a little bit of zombie clearing without her being soaked. Now, if we go hunting up the road to Louisville, there's that big knot of zombies there. And while I'd really love to clear that, she'll be drenched by the time we're done. So it's just better not to do that. And at this point, I can just kind of wander around and hit all of the parking lots and hit all of the streets and stuff. And it's kind of aimless at this point. I mean, maybe I should be marking stuff off, but I just thought we'll take a quick turn around and we'll get an idea of if there's any vehicles that, you know, we missed. Because I wasn't really looking for them before. And at the moment, there's not really many vehicles in this game. I don't think I have vehicle spawning set to be very high, which perhaps was a mistake in terms of being able to locate some of these specialty vehicles, since I'm not entirely certain what kind of algorithm is used to generate the vehicles and whether or not those are based off of the general settings, which I imagine they would be. So there's a Knox van, some trucks. There's a zombie back here. We'll just kill him and hope we don't get drenched in the meanwhile. Nothing much there that we need. Get in the cart. Thank you. One of the things you should be careful of is to not do what I just did. A lot of times I get in and out of the car too quickly, and when I do that, it accidentally glitches and leaves my door open, and you don't want to be running around with a door open because zombies can attack you through an open doorway, and I'm not entirely certain they might even be able to pull you out of a vehicle, which would be really unpleasant if you ask me. This is Spiffos and Farmahan. We could actually loot while we're here, but I don't think so. I think we're just going to keep looking for vehicles. And I'm being a little bit more aimless than I normally would be. I'd normally be a bit more systematic, but well, there's a cop car, but I think we've already looted that. There's a taxi over there. This is usually a dead end, and sometimes there are houses here, and sometimes there aren't. And it looks like the answer to that is no, so we won't find any vehicles back here. Oh, let's get past this guy. Looks like a lone cop. Wow, it's starting to get dark. Visibility is not going to be the greatest, and there's also a chance that we might get into an accident, so I'm going to try to do this quickly. Now that's a nice little car. I think that's a Mercedes or Mercedes Takeoff. They don't actually have a Mercedes. I think in the game they call it a Mercia. So we'll mark that because that's cute, and they're usually fast and have a lot of horsepower. And horsepower helps you pull things. So let's just go down here. We have another zombie. It looks like some of the drenching rain has let up a little bit. Change my focus to my backpack so that I automatically drag stuff into it. I always forget to do that. Okay. And I know it seems kind of silly to check the houses, but you'd be surprised how many times I drive through town and find a water truck or a big rig or a flatbed in somebody's driveway. I mean, it's just really strange that it happens, but it does. And this person is in my way. I don't want to trash what's left of this cute little taxi cab, unfortunately. Alright, so grab this jewelry and this newspaper. Anything potentially useful. Jewelry can be broken down if you have Fibrel's recycling mod. It becomes scrap metal, which is useful for making other metal things. And newspapers and other things that are entertainment books are one use. So collecting them never hurts, because every time you actually read one, it disappears. What is that? That looks like a body. Getting dark again. Oh, there's a white Jeep. So let's mark that location. Jeeps are pretty good. Where is my map? There it is. Oh, there's a garage here too. At some point in time, I should probably check this garage. And I'm betting there's a table. So there's a chance that there's a propane grill or a propane torch back there, maybe. Oh, there's some zombies back behind me, but we'll just let them go for now. Alright, so let me see here. Nothing back this way. We'll just come around the block. It would be great if we could find a truck or a flatbed or a semi-trailer. The semi-trailer, there's a lot of zombies back here. I'm going to have to come through here and clean this out. I like the semi-trailer, but I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to work for a solo game. I've used it a lot in multiplayer on the server with my friends, and it really comes in handy when you want to move large quantities of goods, especially if you get lucky enough to find the trailer, because you find it in two pieces. You find the rig, which is the part that pulls everything, and then you find the trailer part. I'm sorry, boy, and I'm probably not using the right words either, so I apologize if I'm confusing everybody. But the truck comes in two parts, and it basically can hold like 1,600 pounds worth of stuff. But for one person, I mean, unless you're planning to live out of it, I'm not entirely sure it's really helpful. I don't know. I mean, it would take a long time for one person to fill it with 1,600 pounds worth of stuff, and then it would take, you know, even longer to unpack it into a storage location, and I just really can't see that being viable for a single person. But the 800-pound truck is good for a number of reasons, because you can store stuff in it. It's a flatbed, so if you have too much stuff, you can actually leave it parked and get in and out of it fairly easily to get to stuff if you don't have enough storage space for everything you picked up. Number one. Number two, because it's half the size of the big truck, you can still manage to unload it in, you know, half the time and you have half the gear in it. And even that takes some time, but it's much more viable, I think, for one person to manage 800 pounds of gear and set up the storage for that much stuff versus, you know, I don't know if it's 1,600 or 2,300. It's the trailers carry some insane amount of equipment. And actually, the trailers are really good if you want to go along and you want to collect wood by clearing out like these types of areas, because eventually these areas grow to the street, and it makes it very difficult for you to see houses. And you will get lots that are totally encased in woods, and so you can't see houses there either. So at some point in time, you're probably going to want to go through and just start clearing lots and streets so that you have better line of sight. And this looks like a cop jamboree, so I hate to get out and do this in the rain, but let's see if we can't beat up some of these guys. There's too many here. There's at least another 2 up that way. What intrigued me about this was the cop car and the fact that cops carry the police vests, and sometimes they can have specialty gear as well. So I thought perhaps it wouldn't be bad to try to clear them out. Boy, he didn't hear me coming in. I was right up next to him. I had to get right up next to him to hit him because I just was not coordinated enough to get him all at once. I just like doing things in the rain because you really can't hear when people are coming. The rain reduces the ability to hear growls and things. Oh, and look, there's zombies in that window. I'm just going to move all these guns, but let's see if there's anything in the car that's worthwhile. Locked. Gee, did neither of them have a key? No key there. No key there. Nope. Well, I'm not going to worry about getting into it now. We'll worry about that tomorrow when the weather is hopefully better. And we don't have to worry about a whole bunch of other zombies breaking out on us in the rain. Wow, look at that. Okay, so there's the fire truck, but certainly not in the position that we wanted it to be in. Can I get into this and actually get it off of here? Sometimes physics in this game is strange. So, oh, I don't have the key for this, but that's okay. Can I not wire yet? No, I can't. Alright, let's see. Do we have... no keys, so this is not going to be usable, but we have another axe, we have another gas can, of long johns, which are almost impossible to find, and which we'll need for winter, so we'll grab all that. Let's see, is this guy? No, this is not the fireman. So let's see if we can find the fireman. There he is. I see you. Come on out. Alright, do you have keys to your own vehicle? You do not. But you have some socks, so I'll take your socks. That could be his home, and if that's his home, then we might actually find the keys in the burnt out wreck, but I'm not going to put much store in it until we can hotwire it. Sometimes you get lucky, and if you can hotwire something, you can rev the engine, and the two of them will collide, and suddenly they'll right themselves, because physics in this game can be just a little strange sometimes, but I am not messing with that in this dark and dreary. And zombies in the woods, that's just a nightmare waiting to happen. Oh boy, we are not having much luck finding the big vehicles, the military vehicles. Those are the ones that we want. And they're obviously in the game, or we wouldn't have seen the water truck or the military truck, either the military water truck. So both of the mods are clearly working. They're just not spawning in as frequently as we want. I think we've already been up here. Let's go up this way. The school is up this way, I think, or post office. One of those 2 buildings is this purple one up here. And I'm going to go look in that parking lot here. Oh, look, more cop zombies. Let's see if we can get rid of these guys. Come on. When you're fighting multiple zombies, the best thing you can do is pull them away from each other. And if you wind up pulling more than one, just keep pulling. But be careful, be aware you won't be able to see behind you, and therefore if you back up too far into an area that you haven't really cleared, there's a chance that you'll back up into another zombie or even a set of zombies. Oh, there was a bulletproof vest. Let me just grab that. I prefer to wear the military bulletproof vest, or even if we can get them, the military armor. But disappointingly, we did not find any military armor at the military compound last night, so... check to make sure we've got all the alarms turned off on all these guys. The last thing we want is an alarm going off and for a zombie to hear it nearby while we're carrying all this stuff. Alright, let's head over here. Ah, there we go. Well, so there's a water tanker. But still no flatbed or Humvee, which is what we're looking for. However, let's see if we can get into this water tanker. The water tankers have enough pulling power that we can actually head back and pull the taxi back. And this one had a key in it. Perfect. Okay, that's wonderful. The nice thing is, since we cannot build our water storage solution yet, we can fill these guys up temporarily and give ourselves at least a bit of a surplus. And we're not backed up or lined up effectively. Let's see if I can get the front end of the taxi lined up correctly. It's hard to gauge because you really want them close. You want them closer than you think they should be, but there has to be enough room for the character to get between them. If they're not close enough, then you won't be able to hitch them up. And I have not yet found a single vehicle that you cannot hitch the front or the back. If you're having difficulty, then odds are pretty good you're just not lined up correctly. Okay, so we're going to head back with this and try to remember to come back here because there's some other vehicles. And when we get home, we're going to give her a little bit of a drink too. And we're a bit north. I was thinking that we were on the right street, but we aren't. We're actually a bit north. That's because we're over to the west. So there's this little hitch and stuff that we have to contend with. It's as if the east half of the map is offset by just a small amount from the west half of the map. Oh, look, there's a cute little Jeep there. Where are we? We're here. Oh, I had marked it already. So once I can that means I probably looked into it already. So once we can hotwire, we should be able to get that vehicle. Are we on the right track now? I will know if we see the repair shop. Looks like we're heading towards town. And I think that's the repair shop right there. And that's Pharma Hub. because medical is usually pink. That would be Spiffos, and this is the Gigamart. So we're actually heading home effectively. Alright, this is wonderful. So let's see here. What do we have here? We have 2 water trucks now, and we have a gas tanker. And actually, it's not a bad idea while we're here to take the gas tanker, because is the power still on? I think our power is still on. So let's run in and get a drink, and then we're going to go back out with this gas tanker and see about filling the tank. Oh, we're on time for the news, looks like. Order 85 has been issued. Or did we just miss the news? We might have just missed the news. What we really need is a tactical walkie-talkie, and I will show you why. Let me see if we have one. There's a radio. But it doesn't look like we have any walkie-talkies. Well, that's just unfortunate. I could have sworn we had grabbed some. Did I break them down? I may have broken them down because in previous games, I really didn't think there was much point to having a walkie-talkie since you're only one person in a solo game and there's nobody to talk to. And the walkie-talkies are two-way radios, so they're really good for using with other players, especially if like global chat isn't enabled or you don't want to play, voice. But the problem is that I didn't realize you can set the walkie-talkies to the emergency broadcast channel, and when they are on the emergency broadcast channel, if you have headphones in, you can hear the emergency broadcast every hour, which is extremely useful, at least if you ask me. Now, the question is, where is the gas station here? Did I mark one off? It's up here. Okay. So we'll head up that way, and then we will see if we can do this without being eaten by any zombies. For the most part, the gas stations are partly covered, so we should be able to fill the tanker without being totally drenched. Alright, so it looks like we want to go up this way and take a right. Just missed the turn. Oh, so that wasn't... Okay, so that wasn't the gas station. That was probably... There's another generator in here that I left behind. Okay, so that means that we need to go through town because I did not find a gas station here. And we need one. And the search for other vehicles will wait until later on because we need to find the gas station first. And I really need to start labeling the map. I haven't been doing it, but I really need to. So it's time we figured out what some of these buildings are at the same time. I think this is the church. Or is this is the school. And this is where we've got the flatbed that I can't get into yet. Okay, so this is the school, so we'll put a little smiley face there so that on the map I can see it and hopefully remember that that's the school. Let's head up this way and see what we got here. This is what? This is the back of something. And surprisingly, these trucks handle really well in the terrain too, which I think is just strange, but I approve. Alright, so this is, I don't know what, but it's the back of the police station. Alright, so this building to the left here is the bank. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so the bank gets the money symbol. I should have been doing this right along because it's just too difficult to know what things are if you don't have them mapped. Alright, so this is a restaurant, and that's a furniture store. So this is a restaurant, and that's a furniture store. This is an eatery. I don't know that I would call it a restaurant, but it's an eatery. And it's next to the bookstore, which I always mark with an asterisk so I know where the books are. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a dentist. And that's services. So where is this is medical. I always use 0 for services because they don't really help you in this game, although the locations are not bad because they can have things to break down. There's also hair there. I should probably check these marks a little bit better than this, but you know, so there's like a hair place here and some services, and I don't know what this is across from us, so there's a whole bunch of other things there. We'll take a look there in a minute. Let's see what's over here. Here's the gas station, finally. Oh, and this one's in the rain. Oh, I'm doing a great job of navigating too. So this is a gas station and a convenience store. Let's see if we can. Oh, I guess I got too close. So let's go here and see how this will work. Okay, so that's not going to help. Drain gasoline from tank, siphon gasoline. Okay, so I expect we're on the wrong side of the tank for one thing. Oh, and we've got a visitor. Alright, let me get back in here and we will move the truck and see if we can get gasoline and stuff the way we need it. Come on. Go on, go on. Oh, I'm in the wrong seat. That's the problem. Duh. Okay. Alright, so let's... Oh, this way. Come on. Clear this and go on this side. I'd really like to get this done before more zombies notice that we're here. Let's scope out the lay of the land. Anything over here? Nope, we're good. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. Fill gasoline storage tank from pump. This is probably going to take a while. Let's speed this process up. Alright, and now refuel the truck from the gas pump. Let's get that going. And let's see here. We can check to see how much gas we have. Alright, the gas tank is a regular gas. Why didn't it refuel all the way? And the fuel tank is full. Boy, it's in crummy condition. We need to do something about that. Oh, that's why. I must have moved her or something. There's a little bit of weirdness going on here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so unfortunately this gas tank is not holding much because it needs repair. But we got a little bit of gasoline. I think the red gas cans hold 5 gallons. So we got 169 gallons, which is enough to refill a bunch of times. And the tanker itself is full. And where the heck did all these guys come from? I'm not going to leave these guys floating around and run the risk of being ganged up on when I'm not paying attention. I could have sworn I saw another one. There he is. Okay. Good. Alright, and it looks like it's dinner time. So I think what we'll do is we will head back. The trip today was not as eventful as I had hoped and not quite as fruitful as I had hoped, but we did find a gas truck, not a gas truck, excuse me, we found a water truck that's going to be potentially useful, and we did get fuel, so that's good, and we did start mapping and searching the area, which is also good. So not, the most glamorous or exciting of things for this particular episode, but I think what we'll do is we'll call it here, and I will see you for episode 21 in a little while. I hope you guys take care.